Kevin here for Channel Mana League. Been away a little while. Took a little break since about October or so, but did mess around with a little bit of Standard and got tired of Standard. Got a little old. A lot of mono black control, mono blue, and I guess mono black's not really control, but sorta. And then your blue white X type control decks, which are what I play, but still kind of a boring. Kind of got a little old, so hoping that Born of the Gods mixes things up a little bit, but. I have Lucky Draw here with me. We're going to do a pre-release Theros Block Draft. This is probably the only one. It's Sunday night that I'll be doing of these ones. The payouts are pretty terrible. It's 15 tickets to get in, and they do pay out one extra pack at the top if you go 3-0. But other than that, I mean, you're probably not getting that back. And other than that,
well, it's always just about 2 more tickets on average to enter, right?
Well,
if you do the pack method, you're paying like 12 or 13.
Yeah, I mean, it depends obviously on what's gonna go. I guess we can jump right into this one right now. Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends.
Brimaz.
Yeah, Whelming Wave. That is not a Brimaz. Let me pull up here. Card. Boom. Nope, that does not hide that. Oh, we'll just, there we go, we'll just shrink that down. Alright, so we got our cards there. Shrink this up, or largen that a little bit. So we got Whelming Wave, which is pretty good, I guess, if you're running the Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, Serpent deck.
Yeah, you don't need to price check that, do you?
I think it was 15 cents, I just saw it.
Oh.
So,
okay.
That's almost Brimaz. But we'll try to go through this a little quick. Noble Quarry, I think is okay. I saw someone draft this the other day. It seemed alright. Yeah, we'll see about that, and that seems pretty good if you can untap it, so maybe that's good in some sort of...
I'm looking at Skyguard. Gosh, what's that in the top left?
Fearsome Temper, it's an enchantment.
Oh, yeah, that's an enchantment.
I've heard this guy is actually pretty good, the Servant of Timuret, not taking him here. I think it's probably a Crow and Skyguard.
Or Retraction Helix, actually.
Helix, and it kind of depends
Helix?
Which one you want to go with.
I don't know. Your call.
Let's try to go into a heroic deck.
Alright.
Hey, a Whelming Wave. So, basically, we're not going to take Whelming Wave. Alkalight's Reward is actually really good if you have a lot of white devotion. Like, it's just a complete game changer. Obviously, it's very situational, because if you don't have white devotion, it does nothing for you. But if it does something for you, it probably does a lot.
It seems like it'll be a very swingy card, but the power level is there because it costs 2, is that right?
Yeah, 2, and it's of course an instant.
So cheap heroic triggers that can change targets, and so like 2 for 1 plus it heroics. I mean, definitely upside.
Yeah, it's good. And then again, there's the Retraction Helix, which is obviously pretty good too. I think taking white first, I'd probably take the Acolyte's Reward and see how it goes. I mean, Retraction Helix is basically unsummon type of deal, or a boomerang type of effect. But
yeah, it also gives a heroic trigger. Anything else in the pack that we see?
I think Crypsis is okay, but I think I'm going to go with the Acolyte's Reward. We'll talk about Crypsis. That's basically, I heard people saying that Crypsis, here it is, target creature you control gains protection from creatures your opponents control until end of turn and you untap it. That even though that's only like an okay effect, in blue there's not a lot of combat tricks, so it gets a little bit of a bump in goodness. But let's see, up to 2 target creatures each get +4/+4 until end of turn. That'd be a lot better if it were instant. Sorcery not so amazing. I
mean, in a green-white heroic deck,
that could be pretty good, I guess.
But I mean, it doesn't give tramples, so
yeah.
We can't make a Treefolk tribal deck or get started on one here.
That's definitely true. I think this guy's pretty good. It costs 8, which is a ton.
Yeah.
Giving your guys hexproof is pretty awesome, but yeah, 8 is a ton. I don't know about that. I don't think we're taking a white card here. I don't really care that much about the Loyal Pegasus. Guy gets Intimidate. We're gonna have to pick something pretty quick. So
I would take the red heroic thing, or bestow guy.
This guy?
Yeah, I mean, red-white heroic I think is still strong. You were talking before the draft. I think that aggro is just a little bit better in the newer format. I mean, this is 2 packs of Theros, so it's not really new. But while people are still figuring out the interactions of the new cards, I think playing guys, bestowing, and attacking, like, you don't have to figure out interactions nearly as much.
Speaking of heroic, this guy costs 5 for a 3/2, but threaten. Target this guy, threaten.
Oh!
That seems pretty good.
He seems pretty strong.
We'll highlight him. I think the snake's okay. There's 2 of them here, foil or non.
Oh yeah.
I don't think this guy's very good because he's a 1/1 for 3. Basically, you target him once, he's 3/3, so you have to target him twice to get any value out of him. The other choice is Excoriate, which is a removal spell. You do have to wait till someone's tapped.
Yeah, maybe that's the pick here.
It's one of those 2,
know.
I think. Well, we'll stick with Excoriate because it's white. This might be better in a heroic deck. It's hard for me to pass up on some sort of removal, though. I know I don't want an Impetuous Sunchaser.
Well, we were also saying before the draft that red is a little tough to know how much to value as a color because it seems stronger in Born of the Gods, but if you get into red in the first pack, then you have 2 packs of weaker Theros red.
Yeah, I think this isn't bad for heroic enabler. Target creatures +1 on gains lifelink. That's okay as heroic goes. Yeah. This guy's good if you... I mean, he's not bad as a 3/3 vigilance for 4 anyway, but if you can trigger him for red, obviously that's pretty big. That's a big game. I think that might be the pick here. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Vigilant Hill Giant regardless, and if we do end up red, which it looks like we might be, then he gets... I
think Course of Tides is pretty strong too.
Yeah, actually, well... Oh well. Maybe that was a pick. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it could have gone either way. I think Grave Robber Spider is really good. It's basically it's a giant spider, and then if you can trigger it for black, it does awesome things, which we're not anywhere near doing. But that's a pretty sweet card. It's a good card. Especially even 2/4. Giant Spider's never bad, and then if you can trigger
goes with some of the green and black cards in Theros that self mill.
Yeah. I'm going to highlight the Excoriate in case we don't come up with something better here. I don't think Scouring Sands is what we need. I think Nullify is actually pretty good if you're fairly heavy blue. Countercard target creature or aura. I think that's pretty strong.
Essentially counterspell.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty good counterspell. I mean not quite, but yeah, close. I think the Starbreaker's fine, but I think another Excoriate out of this pack is probably what we got to go with.
Yeah.
Archetype of Finality. Creatures you control have Death Touch. Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, we're not in red at all. I mean, we have 1 card that gets better with red, but we don't need it, and 1 bestow creature. We're clearly pretty heavy white. And
well, what do we like? Just because I don't like the red cards in this pack.
Right, I agree with that. Those are pretty terrible cards. I think a Necrobite's okay. But I think maybe this guy is actually pretty good. A 2/3 for 6 isn't great, but all your creatures having Death Touch is pretty strong. I think that's what I'm going to take.
Alright.
I don't know about that, but...
Nothing seemed too great.
I don't think we're missing out on a ton. There are some white heroic creatures. Well, a white heroic Elite Skirmisher, which is okay. Tap target creature, but he's not really the guy we want to be heroicing. I think Oresco Sun Guy is not bad, actually. I mean, he's a 2/2 for 2, which is, Grizzly Bear, but he does have untap, you gain 2. It's a Grizzly Bear with the upside.
The Elite Skirmisher, I did play him in the sealed deck I did, and I never wanted to trigger him for heroic if I had other heroic guys.
I mean, Rise of the Challenge is okay, I guess, but I think maybe this guy...
I like the Sun Guy. For the Skirmisher, it's just a much weaker version of the Arena Athlete.
Yeah, I think that I agree with that. Alright, well, here's a very boring 2/4 white card, so probably move on for that. I think Peregrination is actually pretty good in a green deck. It's okay. I don't know if it's great, but we'll find out as time moves on, I guess. The Faragax Giant, he's the 3/3 tribute 2. If not, he deals 5 damage. I don't think he's that strong.
It's okay.
Yeah. Here, I think you got to take maybe the Fearsome Temper or the Great Heart. What do you think? Well, alright, we'll just take the white card.
Oh, well, no, I didn't want the 2/4, but...
we don't have much time.
We have the same pick again. Yeah, I'd rather just have the red guy, personally. I mean, a 2/4 vanilla for 4 is...
Not great.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, this guy may be okay. He'll probably hit you a land if you're playing green. Not interested in the Pillar of War, although we could be playing like 6 of them by now. But yeah, the Ferrex Knight's fine. I agree. I mean, I don't think this guy's good. He looks pretty sweet.
Yeah?
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I don't know if that counts for anything. And the archetype of Endurance Wheel, so apparently people do not think that that's great.
There have been a lot of green cards coming around.
There has been. We've taken none of them.
We could take one now.
Well, which one do you like? This one?
Yeah, the big pig.
Alright, let's take it. And the second snake, the non-foily one, made it around. Or target creature gets +2/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. That's probably better for us. We can actually play that card.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's not amazing, but if I don't know that we
gets us going on a red-white heroic.
Yeah, I don't know that we have much heroic going on. Hey, an Impetuous Sun Chaser.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Apologize to everyone for my dogs shrilly barking in your ears, but hey, you have dogs, that's what they do.
How many heroic guys do we have?
I believe we have one.
And we have one bestow. Oh, hey.
Hey, there's a Sylvan Caryatid. He's not worth anything, I don't think.
No, he's not.
So, but there's a Phalanx Leader.
Yes, there is.
And while he's not worth anything, he is pretty badass.
It's a good one.
We're clearly playing white. We may or may not be playing red. Ordeal's nice and all that nonsense, and Lash and all that good stuff. But Phalanx Leader.
Yeah, that is the best Ordeal for an aggressive deck.
I agree.
I mean, which is what you want to be playing Ordeals in anyway. But,
right.
But no, Phalanx Leader's too strong to pass out.
Is it too good? You have to take him. What do you think about Freakish Cure in this format? I've heard people say like to have one or two in there. I mean, there are, I guess, guys with 2 toughness, but to me, they're not usually the ones you're that concerned about, unless you got like a Daxos or something on the other side.
I think that if you're playing 9 or 10 swamps, it's fine. If you're playing less than that, you just don't want it because you're playing it too late for it to matter.
I think that's a valid point. I haven't played it a ton in the format to know, but we'll take the Phalanx Leader. Hey, a Thoughtseize. That's still probably worth 4 or 5.
I think so.
I may just rare draft the hell out of that. Oh, there's a Wingsteed Rider, though.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. Let me see what a Thoughtseize is worth these days.
I think it might only be worth like 2.
I don't think so. Buying Thoughtseize for 4.
Oh.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I guess we're like recording. I will go out and say that if I were doing just a normal Swiss draft, which I actually kind of enjoy doing just because they're not as stressful and whatever, I would totally snap up the 4-ticket Thoughtseize and be like, hey, that's worth better than a pack.
Yep.
If you're trying to win, you take the Wingsteed Rider.
How much do you care about your fans, Kevin? The viewers watching? And
I have no fans, and I don't care about them.
No. They come up to me on MTGO.
Yeah, no one's once ever said anything to me ever about watching one of my videos. So I think a couple people subscribe just because they're like, hey, look, there's a channel named Mana League. All right, we'll take a Wingsteed Rider. Let's do it.
There it is. Commitment.
Yeah, and here we have a whole lot of nothing. We could run a Rageblood Shaman with our 0 Minotaur deck. I don't think that's probably great. We are pretty heavy white. I mean, Evangel of Heliod's okay if you're running a lot of white. Do we have, how many humans do we got? 1. That's a Cat Monk. See, that guy already flies. That guy already flies. Okay, so giving guys flying is not going to do a whole lot for us here. I mean, we're not locked into red, really.
No, if we want to be hyper-aggressive, obviously there's a Minotaur, but I think with as heavy white as we are, the Evangel's actually kind of good in our deck. It's
probably not terrible. I mean, it definitely will help us get some chump blockers if we need them, and it'll give us hopefully several 1/1s. I mean, Nylea, if you were going to pick a color other than red, I would say like Nylea's Disciple or maybe Bloodtoll Harpy are probably the best cards in there. Like if I were going to go out,
probably for us the Harpy, since the Disciple wants you to be pretty heavy green, which we're not.
Yeah. So Horizon Chimera, that's a pretty sweet ass card. There's an Ordeal of Heliod. I mean, that goes. It's not really the one you want when there's also a Rage of Perforos. I mean, it's not really the heroic ordeal you want when you gain 10 life and you're trying to be super aggressive. But it's still not a bad heroic trigger. Sometimes you just go turn 2 Phalanx Leader, turn 3 Ordeal of Heliod, turn 4 through 6 win.
Turn 2 whatever, even a Philosopher, and then go turn 3 Ordeal. And the 10 life, I found it matters more often than I would think.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're racing, it swings the race way in your favor.
Yeah.
So I think that's the pick here. What do you think?
God's Willing would be the second thing, but I think it's just too far behind Ordeal. Ordeals, I've told you before, I don't really like them in general. Like, they make games too swingy, but they're too powerful to not take and try.
Alright, well, we'll run it. There's a God's Willing right there. There's also a Baleful Eidolon, which is actually a pretty sweet black card. I think card's pretty good, I think.
It's a good card. To me, it's better for controlling builds, because you want to sit it down and play defense.
Oh, no, I agree with that. I mean, I almost always end up drafting blue-black control. So, for me, it's a pretty sweet card, but not in this deck. Oh, I agree with you. Other than that, I mean, we got the Spear Point, Oriad, or the God's Willing, and I think got to go with the God's Willing here, especially we don't know that we're even playing red, but Spear Point's not bad.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's okay. Maybe we'll pick one of those up later, but we'll yank the God's Willing here and move along. These all kind of suck for us. Scholar's pretty sweet if you're white-black. I guess it's not even terrible as a defensive card. It's a 1/4. I like it better than an Afara's Warden or a Priest of Iroas.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's still possible that we're white-black.
Yeah, I mean, well, even if you were just going to say what's the best card in this pack, regardless of what your color is, I mean, Nylea's Presence, maybe? Like, they're all pretty these are all pretty terrible cards. I mean, this is a good sideboard card, but...
Especially for what we're doing, nothing here works.
So we'll snap up the Scholar here and see what happens. Again, not a ton here, but the Laguna Band Elder's alright.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Lagana.
3 power for 3 mana.
Sometimes you snap up 3 life.
Yeah. Little bonus.
Yeah, it could happen. Cavalry Pegasus. Again, we still have just like one white human that doesn't fly.
You can take the Pegasus on speculation and think you'll pick up more humans, but I'd rather just.
This guy's just pretty okay by himself, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, again, in my blue-black control decks, I do like the Mnemonic Wall. It can be pretty swingy when you play that and pull back a Griptide or Voyage's End or something. But yeah, we'll snap up the Elder here. I do like Hopeful Eidolon a lot. What do you think about that one?
That seems like a pretty clear pick here.
Gonna go out on a limb and say that's a decent card in many decks.
And
just not a whole lot else.
Pretty late to still be in the back.
It's pretty late. I mean, I would play it in the control deck. I like Dissolve fair enough in this format. It's pretty okay. I mean, you don't want a ton, and if you're playing a lot of Black Disciples, pretty decent, but we'll snap up the Eidolon. Move along. It's pretty late Lash of the Whip. It's not an amazing removal card, but it's pretty good in this format.
I like it a lot, actually.
I think it's definitely one of the better ones in this format. I mean, Sip is so Sip's only one more, I guess, but the fact that it's sorcery and it's...
Yeah, and even when you can't just kill a guy with it, you can use it as a combat trick to kill a guy.
Let me ask you a question. Should we snap up the Return Phalanx?
I would take the Lash.
Just take the Lash in case we go black. The other choice is to take a Spark Jolt and target your own heroic guy to trigger.
Yeah.
But it's not ideal. But Battle-Wise Valor's not terrible. It's definitely better than any of these other cards. Satyr Piper's okay. I played that the other day in one of my big green Nessie and Asp type decks. And I had, a 10-9 trample or 9-10 trample Nessie and Asp or something with Satyr Piper and make everybody block them and you wipe out their board. But not what we're going to be doing here, so...
I wonder if we can be mono-white.
That would be not terrible. We'll see. I mean, if that's the case, you have to pick up a Silent Artisan here, which I guess isn't even the worst. I mean, that or Wild Celebrants, which is inversely strong to defense ratioed. But I think Silent Artisan is probably the best. I think Silent Assassin would be pretty sweet, but I don't think he's here. That's a super late look. Actually, these are both pretty good cards. I think for this deck we want the Laguna Band Elder because we're pretty aggressive, but Ray of Dissolution's pretty strong.
That's actually kind of a tough pick, I think. I mean, I think both are fine.
We're kind of light on 3-drops. I think we might need them, but I agree this is pretty good. If we didn't have 2 Excoriate, obviously it doesn't get enchantments as much, but Yoke Dogs.
You got 1-drops now.
Do we want this, or do we just want to snap up a Fellhide Minotaur? We obviously don't want to play this card.
I would take the Ox. If they want a Minotaur, they can Minotaur.
Minotaur's legit.
Let someone play the Minotaur deck.
What about the Loathsome Catoblepas?
The what?
The Loathsome Catoblepas.
Say what?
Well,
Oh,
this
wow.
is an on-color land. There's also another Phalanx Leader, which of course you have to take over a red-white tempo. Okay, we're back. Recording stopped for a sec, but we picked up the Phalanx Leader, and we actually decided it was between that and the Rage of Perforos for heroic triggers. But I think Phalanx Leader's too good, so now we really do have to pick up as many heroic enablers as we can. I counted 6 already, which isn't terrible, actually. And here we were talking about between the Spearpoint Oread and the Ill-Tempered Cyclops, and I think the Ill-Tempered Cyclops is just better, we were saying. Really a big miss for us in this pack, though. It's not really what you want to be taking pick 2. I mean, I guess we'll probably be playing some red anyway, because the Rollicker is not terrible in our deck, but not a very good pack for us.
No.
And another not amazing one. I guess here we probably have to take the Chosen by Heliod, or I guess Rage of Perforos is an option, but if you're trying to be heroic with a lot of Phalanx Leaders, I think maybe Chosen is better than Rage. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I would definitely not take the Rage. I think even second, I would look at the Minotaur.
The Skull Cleaver?
But yeah, no, a heroic trigger that cycles is pretty nice.
I think it's pretty safe to say that we're not playing green, so I can hide that guy. And we're almost certainly not playing black either.
You want to splash black for our 6-drop? Death Touch?
It is actually that is pretty sweet, but he's just so weak 2/3. But all your creatures having Death Touch, that's pretty sick. Actually, I don't know. We'll see.
I know.
We'll see how that goes. I like the art on this is pretty badass too. Actually, I think you got to factor that in. I think Chosen though is better than the Skull Cleaver here. We do got a lot of creatures already.
Mono White's a possibility.
So we'll go that way. Oh, love me some Shipwreck Singer. Another Chosen by Heliod. Well, if I knew that was there, maybe I would have taken the other card. But again, more black. I guess black was pretty open here. Black blue is maybe what I always draft looks like it might be open here with the Shipwreck Singers and Baleful Eidolons and things. But anyway, so it's another Chosen or a Spearpoint Oread. I still think here we got to take another Chosen. Like we need as many enablers as we can get. Most of our creatures are kind of wussy, but I mean, we do have a Winged Sea Rider, an Anacrow and Skyguard, and a lot of Phalanx leaders. So
Spearpoint's okay, but the fact that you can't bestow it until 6 just makes it just mediocre.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think. I mean, it's okay as a 2/2 for 3, but not in our deck. We would run it, but we don't need it. And further proof that blue's pretty open is Voyage's End right there. But further proof that our colors are not.
Green is really open.
Yeah, there's some green stuff going here. What do you think about Warrior's Lesson in general? Yeah, I think it's as well. Although I will say that I've drawn 2 cards off of it, more often than you would think.
Well, in that case, it's awesome.
Yeah, well, draw 2 cards for 1 is good. Obviously, that's not what it says. But what do you think about the 2-headed Cerberus here? I mean, if we do play red, it's double red. But
I was just thinking, I don't know if we want to take that or. I mean, I know hate drafting is almost always wrong, but
yeah, I don't know about
Voyage's End.
Yeah,
The chances, yeah, I guess take the Cerberus. I think the chances that we play it are low.
I don't think I want to hate draft the Voyage. I mean, hate draft half this pack. Alright, well, it looks like white is no longer a thing. So, you Stone Shock Giant as a big beefy guy, or a Dragon Mantle as another way to target things. Let's start hiding some. I mean, we're not going to play these guys, so let's hide that. Hide the Lash for now. We're probably not playing a 2/4 vanilla. Not playing a Yoke Docs. What is this? 2+. Oh, that one's okay. I do not want to play Sun Chaser if I can avoid it, so we're going to hide that one.
I really think this one might be the Spearpoint.
I mean, it's that or the Stone Shock. Obviously, the Stone Shock's slower. I guess.
Just the double red. How many?
What do you think about Dragon Mantle, though?
Well, I think they both have the same problem. How many mountains are we playing?
Not many, but this is more for the Stone Shock is more for the
Mantle. But
the Mantle, yeah.
I'd much rather have, for instance, a Titan Strength.
I agree with that. I think this is an okay card, but I do like that Elspeth is in here with her staff.
Yeah.
Her sword staff deal doing.
She's vanquishing.
She is vanquishing fouls, and probably not coincidentally, her second ability is destroy all creatures of power 4 or greater.
Oh, look how it all ties together.
Yeah. but we're going to go ahead and take the Strength of the Titan here.
It's actually a really good pickup for us.
All right. Well, we got another heroic guy, but we're not. I mean, we're going to play enough mountains. We can cast some of this stuff. Is that or another Ill-Tempered Cyclops? And what do you think about those two?
I think that we take the Cyclops. I really don't like playing cards that want a lot of mountains, because I think there's going to be too many times that we start with no mountains in our hand and say, hey, that's fine. Mountains are a light play in our deck. And then you hit a Crusader that's just no good later.
I think that's a fair assessment. Oh, here's all the white cards. Too bad none of them are that great. You like between the Snarecaster and the Laguna Band Elder.
Yeah.
And we already got two of these guys, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's not correct to take the third. We already have, we have a lot of two. Well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 2-drop creatures. So that's not like a ton.
I think I like the Snarecaster. I generally like the Elder better, but just looking at our curve, I'd rather have a 2-drop.
I think that makes sense. Alright, so here we got our choice between a 4/3 for 4 or another Spear Point Oread. I think the fact that at 6, +2/+2 first strike and another Heroic Enabler, even though it's not amazing, I think that's a better pick over a double red 4/3.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Probably not playing the Cetizen Griffin, but
I think we lock up the red mirror right here with the anti-mountain tech.
What do you think about taking this in case we absolutely need a way to block?
That's fine. Otherwise, I would hate a presence so someone doesn't do crazy multicolor things too cheaply.
Yeah. Oh wow.
There are times to hate draft.
That card's too good. Here you go. Do we want the Demolish in case? Is there even any good artifacts in this set?
But take it. If they want to Warriors Lesson us, then good on them.
Warriors Lesson's legit, man. Alright, so we're going to throw this together and see. We're at 31 cards I didn't hide, so we've probably got a deck in here somewhere, and we'll be back. Alright, so we've kind of thrown it together. This is what we've got right now. Obviously, you have to make a few cuts. There's a couple options up here that we've thrown about a bit as well. Cerberus seems okay in this deck, but we're so heavy into white, we don't want to play the double red card. So even though the double strike might be pretty good, the other thing is that most of these things aren't giving permanent upgrades. They're like temporary, things, and especially Ordeals. Ordeal's fine. Chosen by Helios.
Ordeal on a Cerberus is pretty good.
No, Ordeal's pretty good. But most of the other stuff isn't that amazing.
Yeah.
And the double red.
A 1/4 double strike isn't that amazing.
No, I prefer the 4/1 double strike.
Yeah.
We don't have that option.
What do you, just throwing some ideas around, we got 12 minutes. What do you think about 2 Excoriates? Still yes?
I think yes.
Okay.
Because we have literally no other ways to remove anything other than combat tricks.
That's a fair point. In a red-white heroic deck, I think those function fine without removal, since in Triple Theros, I don't know if there's any. Lightning Strike.
Yeah, Lightning Strike, Magma Jet, Rage of Perforos.
Yeah, even Rage, is a marginal playable, I think, in that deck.
Obviously in the heroic deck you're not trying to play 4-mana sorceries to slow this thing down, but I think that... And the other thing is it exiles target tapped creature, so if they don't attack trying to stay back to block your guy, I guess you're doing okay that they're not attacking you, but if they play a big threat to try to block your Wingsteed Rider or something, for example, then you're not going to be able to excoriate it anyway. So there's definitely some downside to excoriate.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to try it, and...
That's fair. It's a new card too, so
we'll see how good it is.
Getting to play more of it is probably solid. If we're cutting, we're probably wanting to look at the upper end of the deck.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe the Faragax Giant.
I agree.
It's been said by lots of better Magic players than me, but when you look at the tribute cards, you have to look at when the two sides would be bad for you, and that's what you're going to get. So you have to decide, is the bad... Giving my opponent the choice of what to do here, when it's always going to be the worst one for me, is it still good?
Well, I agree with that generally. I will say one caveat to that is when people like Paul Vidor, I forget how to say the rest of his name, when he says that he's playing against other pros who almost always make the right decision, generally making your opponent make decisions in Magic is a good thing for you because they often make the wrong one, which benefits you.
That's a valid point, and but I mean, you have to factor in that during these pre-release Swiss drafts, we're probably up against the same quality of player. So
Pro Tour...
Pro Tour quality.
But I do think that it's not as strong a card in general.
I mean, even if you compare this to an ill-tempered Cyclops, I mean, is it substantially better for 1 more mana? I think that's a fair comparison, too.
Right.
You know, he's a 3/3 that's going to either deal 5 damage to your opponent when the life probably doesn't really matter. It's still dealing 5, it's a Lava Axe. I mean, it's not terrible, and you get a 3/3. That's not terrible, or you get a 5/5 if it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and if you're at 5 mana, you could Monstrous the Cyclops for 6. I mean, obviously you have to play it and then Monster, which is 10 total mana. But I would rather have 2 Cyclops than 1 and 1 Giant.
Plus, with the Trample, with our other ways to deal extra damage, I mean, you got to figure out that your Battle-Wise Valor, for example, is a lot better on a guy who's getting Trample because you may kill a creature and you also get to deal some damage.
How many white permanents? So we're cutting the Giant, right?
I think we're cutting the Giant.
How many white permanent mana symbols do we see here? We are counting the... Well, I guess we can count the Chosens in the Ordeal.
Sure. Well, we got, by my math, 15 up here. So 15 creatures.
15, that are white?
15 white mana symbols in the creatures.
That's a lot. I think Evangel's going to be good for us.
I think it's definitely worth running out there. I mean, if you're ever going to play Evangel, it's probably in a deck where you have a ton of white creatures. So let's give it the old college try. Actually, I'm interested to see a Crow and Phalanx here too, because in a white-red deck, a 3/3 Vigilance seems pretty okay, and then you get to give all your creatures +1/+0 until end turn.
No, I think he's good.
Yeah, I think even without red, he would have been okay, but obviously better if you can turn on the
fact
ability.
That he pumps your whole team. Wow, that's going to be really good for us.
Yeah, I think that guy is probably pretty strong.
What do you think about one of the spear points going?
That's what I was just looking at, and I think that's probably a good choice. Let's see, what do we got as heroic enablers? Titan Strength, that one's good. God Willing, that's good. Gods of Willing. Ordeal of Heliod, obviously that's pretty strong. 2 Chosens, which aren't amazing, but you do get the heroic trigger and you get to replace it by drawing a card. It's alright.
It's good. We may want to look at one of those going.
Alright, well we do got to cut like 3 cards, probably. I mean, we might be able to run 16 lands in this deck. We're so light, but I don't love doing that.
No.
Rise of the Challenge, that's almost a Titan Strength, but not as amazing. There's a card like that in RTR block, right? Target creature is +2/+0 and first strike.
That's a reprint of the M14 card, isn't it?
Oh, the M14 card. I think there is
yeah.
I think there is a card not called Rise to the Challenge. Probably doesn't look quite as cool. There's a sword coming out of that harpy or whatever it is. It's pretty dead. It's pretty dead looking.
Yeah. He did not rise to the challenge.
He did not.
We want to play and try out the Acolyte Reward, right? Especially as heavy white as we are.
I do, and I think we took a second pick too. So I think
that's not a great way to.
It is. You go by how early you take things, and if you take them early, you have to put them in the deck.
Must play all pack 1 pick ones.
Exactly. If I would have Thoughtseize, we would have found a way to get it in there. I would have got into this deck. I actually think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think so.
Plus, it's a heroic enabler. Prevent the next X damage will be dealt to target creature this turn. So you target your Wingsteed Rider, you prevent all damage, or you target your Phalanx Leader.
Well, the card reads as this does a 2-for-1, right?
That's what it says.
I mean, yeah, that's a subtext. Plus, it's a heroic enabler.
Yeah.
Plus, sometimes it's just a completely dead card in your hand.
It is occasionally a completely dead card. It doesn't seem like it'll be completely dead in our deck where we have...
It should not.
We have 16 white creature. I mean, it could be.
And things that we're playing early...
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. No, it like we said when we took it, I mean, it is conditional. The art is sweet on it. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad. No, I definitely want to try it. and maybe it'll end up being much worse than I anticipated.
So we're thinking cut 1 spear point.
Yeah, I think 1 spear point can go. Skyguard I think is probably pretty good, plus he's shiny.
Yeah, we have at 15 creatures. Do we want to cut any more?
I don't know that we do.
Yeah. Maybe we just cut 1 spell and we do run 16.
That might be correct. I mean, we're going to be really heavy white, so we're probably
we have nothing over 4 except 1 Evangel.
Yeah, I mean, we would run like either 10-6 or 9-7. Probably 10-6.
Yeah, shoot. This could even be an 11-5. Yeah,
I don't like doing 11-5, but
right.
I think 10-6 is probably reasonable. So, I mean, we could do that. Maybe cut 1 Chosen.
If we cut a Chosen, how many heroic enablers are we left with? Counting the creatures that bestow.
9, and then 10, 11, 12, 12. That's pretty good.
Wait, 9? Where are you getting 9? We have 2 excoriates.
Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 7. Okay. 7, and then with creatures, 10. Right?
Yeah. Gosh. I think maybe...
You want to cut an excoriate?
I do, but I don't.
Yeah, I mean...
I think I do, because I think what this deck would worry about more is... Like I say, they just play a Nessian Asp that we can't attack through, and it just sits back. And we're staring at the excoriate in our hand that doesn't do anything.
I think that's a valid concern. We'll see how it does in Game 1.
Alright.
12-4 is an interesting suggestion.
14-2, do it.
Yeah, I think we'll run 10-6 and see how it goes.
Okay.
We should be able to hit 1 out of 6, and we really only need 1. And
and our red cards don't...
We don't need 1 early, really.
Need to be there until...
Yeah.
Drawing our red source late is fine.
Yeah, I think that's fine. So I think 10-6 is probably good. I mean, I guess 11-5 might even be fine, but I don't really like doing that. If we're stuck holding a whole bunch of mountains and a whole handful of Phalanx Leaders, I guess, and Wingsteed Riders, then I guess
if we ever don't draw enough planes in Game 1, I think we go to 13-3.
I think we'll give that a try. So, yeah, we'll run 16, and we'll go to Game 1 and we'll see how it goes.
All right.
All right.